Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 1, 2. Check, check. Check, 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 check. Testing, testing, 1, 2.
All right, welcome back to Tiger Sports Live. Today we have 8th grade football against the Bryan Golden Bears. Looks like Bryan is going to be on offense first. Yep, we got Bryan on offense, and then we got the Tigers going out on defense to start this game. All right, here come the Liberty Center Tigers taking the field now. It's going to be a run up the middle to number 3, Cooper Myers, and he'll have like an 8-yard gain. I think that's number 10, Owen Grant at quarterback. Oh, no, that is. Yeah, we're right here. Number 3, Landon Villalobos, and at quarterback, Ryan Carpenter. All right, 2nd and 2. They're going to go right back to him, and he's going to have nowhere to go, and he's going to be taken way behind the line by the Tiger defense. That was number 71, Brantley Scott, back there to get to him first. All right, so I'll push the Bryan Golden Bears back to 3rd and 8 at the 37. Low snap. Had him wide open, but just a little too far and out of the hands of reach. That was number 8, Ryan Carpenter, and the quarterback, number 10, Max Neff. After the first play, after their first good run, they're gonna have nothing there, and they're gonna go 4 and out. They send out their punt team. And the ball is going to go backwards. All right, so the Tigers are going to have good field position here. Nothing much there out of the Bryan Golden Bears except for that one first play good run. 8-yard gain, and then the Tiger defense with Brantley Scott gets back there and just pushes him back 6 yards. Forces them to punt. All right, the Tigers will start their drive at the 24. Bryce Miller goes out and leads the offense. They're going to go right up the gut with Braden Sager. Not going to get much. 2 yards on the carry. All right, 2nd and 8 from the 22. Gonna be a little screen pass to number 12, Zane Beaterstead. He is going to get dropped right above the line. going to be a gain of 1, and now we got 3rd and 7 coming up. Bryce Miller out of the shotgun formation. Looked like he's going to pass. He's going to get hit hard right at the line. Hope we got a penalty. It's going to be a false start, and they're going to call it. Oh, and they're going to decline the penalty. Be 4th down. The Tigers got 4th and 7 from the 21. John Babcock split out there. It's going to be a pitch to Connor Piak, and he's going to get it in their own 10. What a conversion there from Connor. Tigers going to keep this drive alive, and they're going to have the ball at the 8-yard line. Oh, 7-yard line. All right, we got 1st and 7. Going to be a quick handoff to Aiden Vickers, and he's just going to walk right into the end zone. What a drive for the Tigers. Got to 4th down. Connor Piak converts for it and then leads to the Aiden Vickers touchdown. Tigers are going to go for 2 here. Hand it off to Connor. He's going to run into trouble. He's going to be just short of the conversion. All right, so the Tigers kick this drive off with stopping the Golden Bears to a 4th and down punt, and then lead it to a touchdown. Tigers up 6-0 with just under 4 minutes left in the quarter. All right, the Bryan Golden Bears lining back up on offense. It's going to be a handoff to number 3, Landon Villalobos. It's going to be a gain of 2. All right, 2nd and 8 on the 37 for Bryan. They're going to do a double handoff. He has the field wide open. Bryce is the last one to get him, and he's going to fall down. That is going to be a Bryan touchdown. You know, that was just great blocking from Bryan. I can't see who it was, but just the wide receiver out here, sticking to his block on Connor Piak. Not much the boys could do there, but that's just a great play by Bryan. Looks like we got an official's timeout. I don't think he had a mouth guard in. I think that's why he got taken out. All right, Bryan's lining up for their two-point conversion now. He's just going to lob it up to the corner. It's right out of their reach. Connor Piak out there with good coverage. All right, Bryan strikes in less than a minute. The Tigers will be going out on offense. It's a 6-6 ball game. 3 minutes left. All right, Liberty Center going back out after they drove about 30 yards for a touchdown. Bryce leads his offense out into the field. It's going to be a handoff to Lucas Roars, and he's just going to fight off the defenders for a 9-yard gain. All right, 2nd and 1 at the 44 for the Tigers. They're going to go to Connor Piak. He is just going to be swallowed at the line. Going to have 3rd and 1 from the 44 here. Looks like they have Connor Piak and Aiden Vickers in the backfield. It's going to be a QB sneak up the middle, and Bryce is going to get about 7 yards on the carry there. I'll be 1st and 10 Tigers on the 49. Lining up in mommy territory now. They're going to get a false start. I think that was number 60, Aaron Silvis. All right, 1st and 15 back in their own territory after that penalty. He's going to roll out. He's got Sager. He's going to give it to him. He's wide open. What a block by number 21, John Babcock. And Braden Sager is going to be tackled around the 24. Wow, what a great block by John Babcock. There was one guy that was going to get Braden, and John Solm just gave him a little shoulder nudge, and what a block. All right, the Tigers 1st and 10 on Maumee 24. They're going to give it to Aiden Vickers. Everyone's going to miss him, and he's going to go in for his second touchdown today. What a run for Aiden Vickers there. All right, Bryce going out there to give him the play. See if they can punch this one in. It's going to be play action. He's going to throw it to the back. It's going to be caught by John Babcock. He beat all the defenders out there to the back of the end zone, and Bryce Solm, that'll be a 2-point conversion. All right, 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Tigers 14, Bryan 6. The first drive, we really didn't see much out of Bryan, and then the second drive, just a beautiful double handoff and some great blocking out there. Breaks free for a 65 to 67 yard touchdown. Let's see what the Golden Bears will do this drive. All right, 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Bryan out there. Bryan offense goes back out. It's going to be another low snap. They're going to throw it into no man's land, and Bryce has a pick. He's at the 20. He's going to cut in, and that's going to be a pick 6 for Bryce Miller. Wow, what a play. Bryce read that perfectly. Just that ball was in the direction of the receiver. Bryce comes out of nowhere, picks it, swoops back in, and that'll be a pick 6 for the Tigers. All right, the offense will go back out there for another 2-point conversion. In just 12 seconds, the Tigers score again. Looks like they have Zane Beaterset in there, quarterback. They're going to hand it off to Jack Cronks, and he's going to punch it in for the 2-point conversion. All right, that was a quick drive. Bryan will be going back out into the field again. That was just a great read by Bryce Miller. He saw that the coverage was there too, and Bryce just comes out of nowhere. Just takes the ball and never stops running. All right, Max Neff and the Bryan Golden Bears will come out again. They're going to hand it off. They're going nowhere. Looks like that was Brantley Scott and Caden Hahn combined for the tackle there. Looks like they had a different quarterback there, too. That was number 15, Mac and Selman. Inselman. All right, well, that's going to end the first quarter. Tigers 22, Bryan Golden Bears 6.
This 2025-26 Tiger Sports Live broadcast is brought to you by KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, Affinity IT Group, Pisanello's Pizza, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Swanton Welding, Davis Farm Services, Holgate Metal Fab, Gerald Grain, Hill Asphalt, Mason Hill Construction, Engler Auctions, Dental Health Associates of White House, Pennsylvania, and Fessenden Hardware of Swanton.
All right, we are back to start the second quarter. That first quarter was very eventful. Bryan starts at the ball. They have Tigers force him to punt, and the punt goes backwards, and then the Tigers just drive down the field for a touchdown. And then Bryan has a double reverse pass for a 60-something yard touchdown. And then the Tigers strike again with the pick six after a quick touchdown by Aiden Vickers. All right, Bryan will start with the ball on the 35. It'll be 2nd and 10. It's going to be a quick pass, and it'll be dropped. There's some good rush there. I know these coaches really like to blitz the linebackers, and the backers got in there quick to pressure the quarterback in his face, and he had to throw it quick, and it'll be an incompletion. All right, it'll be 3rd and 10 from the 35. Bryan with the ball. They're going to hand it off to number 3, and he is going to be met behind the line by number 7, Lucas Roars. What a tackle by Lucas there. Got back there quick and just brought him down. All right, it'll be 4th and 12 from the 33. Bryan has to punt here. Yep, they're going to be sending out the punt unit, it looks like. Looks like they're going to be going for it. They got 4 wide. It's Brantley Scott behind him, and he's going to take him down for the sack. All right, the Tigers are going to get the ball back. Looks like they'll be at the 30 to start this drive. What a play from the big Brantley Scott. He blows through his defender and just gets there for the sack. Now the Tigers will have great field position to start this drive. All right, 1st and 10 for the Tigers on Bryan's 30. Be a handoff to Jack Cronks. He's going to shake off one defender. He's going to get a gain of 3, I think. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. I think that's Aiden Vickers with the run. He's going to be hit quick, but he's going to get a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and 5. Ball on the 25. Going to be a quick screen pass to Zane Biederstedt. He's going to evade one tackle, and then he's going to get stopped right before the first down marker. It's going to be 4th and very short. It's going to be 4th and 1 on the 21. Lucas Rohr's going back out there for Jack Kronks. Let's see if we see that little QB sneak again with Bryce Miller. Yep, there it is. And Bryce is going to get it. He's going to get a gain of 3 or 4 on the run, well, on the keep. Gain of 4 will be 1st and 10. Ball on the 17. It's going to be a little play action. Bryce rolling out. He's going to chuck it deep. It's going to be caught by number 8, Colton Wright. Wasn't the greatest pass, but Colton, he just comes back to the ball and makes a great catch. Tigers are going to be on the 3. Be 1st and goal on the 3. It's going to be a quick handoff to Brayden Sager, and he's going to be met right away. Looks like he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Number 9, Connor Piak checks in for Brayden Sager. They're going to hand it right up the gut to Lucas Roars, and he's going to be stopped at like the half-a-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal on the 1. It's going to be a play action. It's going to be thrown to the back of the end zone for Callan Longzak. It's going to be caught for another Tigers touchdown. That's a great play. They just go a ton of runs, and then out of nowhere they just do a nice little play action, and Bryce can either run with it or he can just throw it to one of his outstanding receivers they have on this team. All right, lining up for the 2-point conversion here. They're going to hand it off to Jack Kronks, and he's going to be just short of it. Well, I thought he got it in, but it looks like they stopped him half a yard short, maybe closer. All right, well, the Tigers strike again, taking a 28-6 lead with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the quarter. Let's see what this Maumee offense will do. They had one really good drive, and that was their one play, 60-yard touchdown. I say Maumee. My fault, Bryan. I'm so used to the last one I did was freshman, and same colors. All right, Bryan will come out here. It's gonna be a low snap, but it's going to be a little quick screen pass. Be about 2 or 3 yard gain. Looks like number 15, Mac Inselman, is their actual quarterback. For the first drive, they had Max Neff out there, number 10. All right, that screen pass with a gain of 2, so now Bryan will be out there 2nd and 8, 3rd and 7. They're going for a hard count. Now they snap it. It's going to be a handoff to number 3. It's going to be just short of the first down. Good blocking there. He hit the gap hard and almost broke free. Then the Tigers got there and just swarmed him right away. All right, 3rd and 1 for the Bryan Golden Bears. They're going to hand it off to number 3. He's going to spin and bounce right off of his blockers, and he's going to get a gain of 4. Good run there by number 3, Landon Villalobos. All right, 1st and 10 from the 48 for the Bryan Golden Bears. It's going to be a fumbled snap, and he picks it up right away. Good catch, but he's going to be met right after the catch. Looks like Bryan's in the hurry up here. Gain of 7 on that play. They're going to do another quick pass to number 4 again. He's going to break one tackle. Going to get a gain of about 2. Looks like Bryan called a timeout to stop this clock, give him the chance to punch this drive in. All right, when Bryan gets back out on the field, it'll be 3rd and 2 on the Tigers' 44. Minute and 8 left in this half. A minute and 8 seconds left in this half. Down 28-6. All right, here comes the Bryan offense, trying to make something out of this drive before heading into halftime. They're going to throw a quick pass, and it's going to be in the dirt to no one. Be 4th and 2. This is smart, keeping them out there. If they don't get it, Tigers don't have the best field position, but with them being down this much, they really have to go for it with little time. Bryan's going to call their second timeout of the half. Haven't really seen much from this Bryan team. They had that, the first play of the game, they had that 8-yard rush and then just get stuffed the next 2 plays and have to punt. And then the Tigers' offense has looked really good, scored on all 3 drives, and then that pick 6 by Bryce Miller. But the only thing Bryan has really had this game was that double handoff and great blocking in the outside. Let's see if they will convert on this 4th down and put something in here. All right, here we go. 1:05 left in this half. Bryan down 28-6, 4th and 2 on the 44. It's going to be picked off by Austin Howard. He's going to be going. It's just going to be brought down at the 35. I think that was Aaron Silvas with a big hit on the quarterback right as he threw it. And it looks like the quarterback is down with an injury. What a play by Austin Howard to just track the ball all the way, break some tackles, and
This 2025
get all the way to Bryan's 35.
Tiger Sports Live broadcast is brought to you by KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, Affinity IT Group, Pisanello's Pizza, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Swanton Welding, Davis Farm Services, Holgate Metal Fab, Gerald Grain, Hill Asphalt, Mason Hill Construction, Engler Auctions, Dental Health Associates of White House in Sylvania, and Fessenden Hardware of Swanton.
All right, looks like the coaches are just talking over the game plan, and the Bryan kid hasn't got up yet. Hopefully he's all right. Hope he's getting up. Well, all right. The Tigers will get possession back with 52 seconds left in the half on Bryan's 35 with the pick from Austin Howard. And I think that was Aaron Silvas or Isaac Cifuentes with a big hit on the quarterback, which brought him down with an injury. It was right as he threw it, too. All right, Bryce Miller leading his offense out with 52 seconds left. Let's see what the coaches are going to do here with this field position. Bryce is going to scramble a little bit, and then he's going to toss it to number 24, Hunter Altman. He's going to break a few tackles, and he's going to get a gain of 11 for the first down. All right, clock running. Just under 40 seconds. The Tigers will have the ball in the 24, 1st and 10. It's going to be a pitch to Connor Piak. He's going to go for the outside. He's going to cut in, break a tackle, juke one off, and get met at the 15-yard line. Looks like a timeout from Liberty Center. What a great run from Connor. He just breaks one tackle, jukes in, almost breaks another, and then just gets met by two people. But with 21 seconds left, it's going to be 2nd and 1 on the 15. Tigers have looked very good today, offensively and defensively. This will be their 4th drive on offense now, and then they've had 1 pick six by Bryce Miller. Let's see what they can do here. They do have 2 timeouts, and they have very good field position. See what the coaches are going to do here, if they're going to throw in some more of those play action passes that have been working very well, or if they're just going to stick to the run game. We got Bryce Miller lined up in the shotgun. Going to have a flag. I think it's going to be an encroachment on the defense. That's going to move the ball up 5 more yards, so Tigers will have first and goal on the 10. Bryce is still going to be lined up in the shotgun. Ball's going to go through his legs, and he's going to be dropped way behind the line. It's going to end up tackled at the 21. Timeout offense. Well, we got 19 seconds left in this half. The Tigers are going to have it 2nd and goal on the 20 or 21. Looks like the 21. All right, here comes the Tiger offense back out on the field. They're going to have Bryce lined up in the shotgun again. That was a smart decision by Bryce not to throw it, but 59 got in there quick. It's going to be a sack on Bryce Miller back at the 27. It'll be 3rd and goal on the 27. Tigers will use their 3rd and final timeout of the half with 10 seconds left. I'm guessing they're just going to take a shot to the end zone. All right, here comes the Tiger offense back out on the field. Be 3rd and goal on the 27. They're going to have 4 out on the left side. But they're just going to chuck it up to the tight end, Hunter Altman. It's going to be swatted down by number 4, Nolan Wyman. Oh, that was 4th down, and Bryan's going to get the ball with 6 seconds left in this half. All right, Liberty's going to have 2 deep safeties out there, Hunter Altman and Bryce Miller. Number 10 back out there at quarterback. They're just going to hand it off. He's going to get stuck on his own blockers. And the time is going to expire. Bryan Golden Bears 6 and your Liberty Center Tigers 28.
I've never gotten a cheeseburger or anything from McDonald's. Only ever gotten chicken. Clearly, you don't know that they're. You don't like them or you never had them? I like them. Yeah, I crave them. Zach, I'm not doing this. Go get your own popcorn.
All right, welcome back. If you're just now tuning in, the Bryan Golden Bears 6 and your Liberty Center Tigers 28. The Tigers will be coming out on offense to start this half. The Tigers have looked very good this game. They've had 4 drives, 3 scores out of the 4, and a pick 6. And Bryan's one drive, they had a nice little one-play 60-yard touchdown. So let's see what these Tigers will do. Bryce is going to do a little pitch to Aiden Vickers. Aiden Vickers is going to go through, break some tackles, and he's going, and he is gone for Euro Liberty Center Tigers touchdown. One play is all it takes for these Tigers. "65-yard touchdown run for Aiden Vickers." What a play, Bryce. I think that was a read option. He either was going to keep it or he pitched it, and he pitches it. Aiden Vickers hits the gap and just runs hard, breaks a tackle or two, and is just going all the way. All right, so the Tigers are going to start this quarter with big momentum on their side. That's what we've really seen in these junior high games, is that the second you get momentum, you take it into with the rest of the game or that half, and you just abuse the other team with it, and it is very good for you. All right, Bryce is going to keep it. They're going to call him in. Bryce Miller with a run. He keeps it there, and he just punches it in just barely. So that's going to be your Liberty Center Tigers 36, Bryan 6, and that's going to be a running clock until Bryan scores again. All right, here comes the Bryan offense, and it looks like they have Max and Neff out there at quarterback still. Number 15 got hurt on one of the last plays of the half. They're going to do a quick handoff to number 3, and Brantley Scott, Blake Benhop, and Zane Beaters are going to meet him at the line and push him back, and that'll be a loss of 1 for Bryan. All right, 2nd and 11 for the Bryan Golden Bears on their own 34. Going to be a handoff to number 12. There's going to be good blocking. He's going to hit the outside, and he's just going to walk out of bounds. That was some great blocking by that O-line there. There was nobody except for the DBs out there, and he just cuts to the outside and gets a little extra for the first down. All right, after that run, it will be 1st and 10 at the 46 for Bryan. It's going to be a handoff, and he'll be met right after the line. There'll be a 3-yard gain for the Bryan Golden Bears. 3 yards. This Tigers defense is very big and also very quick. They have Caden Hahn out. They have Caden Hahn at linebacker, who, no matter where the ball is, he can get there quick, wrap him up. And then on the front line, they have big Brantley Scott and normally Isaac Cifuentes. Lil Dippy. Bryan line up in the shotgun. They're going to hand it off. Colton Wright's going to trip him up, and then Brantley Scott meets him at the original line of scrimmage, and he is down with an injury. Good pursuit by Lucas Roars and Colton Wright. They're just going to make the tackle. As me and Mark say, they didn't make the tackle, but they made the play. Colton Wright gets a little hit on him, jumbles him up, and then big Brantley Scott, Bub, comes up with the big tackle at the original line of scrimmage. All right, looks like number 12 just got the wind knocked out of him, and looks like he's up doing all right, so that's good to see. It'll be 3rd and 8 on the 48 for the Bryan Golden Bears. Right now on that front line, they have Brantley Scott, number 71, number 64, Waylon Wright, and number 5, Blake Badenhop at nose guard. All right, 3rd and 8 on the 48. Bryan really needs to convert here. It's going to be a low snap. They're just going to hand it off to number 3. Brantley Scott and Lucas Roars are just going to grab him, and he'll be taken down after a gain of about 3 or 4. That run will put him right in Tigers territory. We got 4th and 5 from the 49. All right, Bryan really needs to convert here if they want a chance in this game. Down by 30 is hard enough to come back, but If they don't get this here, then I think the Tigers will punch one in. This game will be over. It's going to be a low snap. The ball's just on the ground. There's that double handoff that got him the points earlier. But Bryce is going to be there for the big hit. Wow. From the safety spot, Bryce just has a great angle, gets back there for a big hit on number 5. Looks like he's down with an injury.
This 2025-26 Tiger Sports Live broadcast is brought to you by KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, Affinity IT Group, Pisanello's Pizza, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Swanton Welding, Davis Farm Services, Holgate Metal Fab, Gerald Grain, Hill Asphalt, Mason Hill Construction, Engler Auctions, Dental Health Associates of White House in Sylvania, and Fessenden Hardware of Swanton.
All right, and we're back. The Tigers will retain possession after Bryce Miller's big hit on 4th down. This Tiger team has looked very good today. And here comes Bryce Miller and his offense coming out with the ball on Bryan's 45. Oh, but it looks like Bryan is going to call an early timeout in this half. There hasn't really been much negatives for this Tigers team except for they had one drive where they didn't convert, and that was late in the second quarter with not much time, and they really just had to chuck it up at the time crunch. That's Cam Wolpert coming in for Ben Schwab. All right, here comes the Tiger offense. Looks like we're going to have a false start. All right, so Tigers will restart this drive on the 50. Will be 1st and 15 on the 50. All right, here comes Bryce Miller out there again. And they're going to get him with the hard count. Number 59 he was ready. But they get him with the hard count, and that'll be offsides, and Tigers will go back to 1st and 10. They're going to hand it off right up the middle to number 23, Braden Sager, with a gain of about 5 yards. Be 2nd and 5 on the 40. All right, 2nd and 5 on the 40. Bryce Miller in the normal offense under center. They're going to do a quick handoff to Jack Cronks. He's going to shed a tackle, and he's going to get 4 yards on that carry. 3rd and 1 on the 36. Bryce is going to hand it off to Jaden Barner. There's going to be great blocking. He's going to get the ball, and he's still going. What a run by Jaden Barner. He's going to be stopped at the 11, it looks like. Great blocking there, and want to hit the gap very well and just kept going and going. They're going to do a quick handoff to Jack Cronks, and it's going to be a fumble. Looks like the Tigers got the ball back. So now we got about 2nd and 1 on the 3-yard line. All right, and there's your 3rd quarter. Liberty Center Tigers 36, Bryan Golden Bears 6.
This 2025-26 Tiger Sports Live broadcast is brought to you by KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, Affinity IT Group, Pisanello's Pizza, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Swanton Welding, Davis Farm Services, Holgate Metal Fab, Gerald Grain, Hill Asphalt, Mason Hill Construction, Engler Auctions, Dental Health Associates of White House in Sylvania, and Fessenden Hardware of Swanton.
All right, we are back to start this 4th quarter. Tigers have the ball on the 2-yard line for 2nd and 1. Tigers have looked very, very good this game. Bryan they didn't really figure it out much. Looks like they had that one really strong play, and then they haven't done anything really since that double handoff. The Tigers have just been pushing and pushing down the field this drive. And let's see what they can do with this position. It's going to be a handoff to Blake Badenhop. And it was a fumble, and Bryan recovered it, but the officials are going to call him down. I think he was just stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Oh, nope, he got the 1st down. All right, it'll be 1st and goal at the 1. It's going to be another handoff to Blake Badenhop. They're going to push him forward. Does he have enough? Ooh. It'll be short at the half-yard line. We got 2nd and goal. And that ball looks like it is touching the goal line from our view. They're going to give it back to Blake Badenhop, but it looks like there's a little bit of miscommunication there. He'll be met right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be third and goal again. All right, here we go. 3rd and goal. Bryce is going to roll out. He's going to run it himself, and he's going to be met behind the line. That was a big hit from number 22. Gabe Suffel. All right, it'll be 4th and goal on the 3. Tigers' normal offense is going to stay out there. Let's see if they can punch this in. Bryce is going to keep it again. He's going to throw it. He's got Jack Kronks in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. All right, upcoming the 2-point conversion for the Tigers. Going to be a handoff to Jack Kronks, and he's going to walk in untouched. With that two-point conversion, that'll be Bryan 6 and your Liberty Center Tigers 44. We got just over 4 minutes left in this game, and this is just a learning opportunity for the Bryan Golden Bears and just a time to get their fundamentals in and not to wave the white flag and just to keep playing to the 4th quarter hit 0. They got to keep playing their all and see what they can improve for next week's game. The Tigers, on the other hand, have shown a lot of improvement and have looked really good this game. Number 10, Max Neff, still out there at quarterback. He'll be leading this offense out again. It'll be a low snap. And they're going to fake the double handoff, and they're going to go to number 3. He's going to break a few tackles, and he's still going. Aiden Vickers is holding on to him, and it's going to take about 2 to 3 people to take him down. Gets the Bryan offense all the way to Tigers 40. With a 25-yard rush by number 3, Landon Villalobos. It's going to be another low snap. They're going to hand it off. He's going to hit the outside. He's going to juke in, and Callan Longzak is going to be there. Great pursuit by him. It was a handoff to Xavier Oliphant. That'll be a loss of 3. It'll be 2nd and 13 from the 43. Number 6, Nate Eborsel checking in for number 23, Braden Sager. It's going to be a handoff to Landon. He's going to break a few tackles. He's got Brantley Scott wraps him up and just throws him to the ground after a big rush. He's going to push this offense all the way to the 22-yard line. Brantley Scott didn't give up on the play. Got to him after he had about a 15-yard rush and just takes him down. It's going to be a handoff back to Landon Villalobos. He's going to break a tackle. He's going to go to the outside, and he'll be taken down at about the 2 or 3 yard line. This clock's still running, so Bryan's got to hurry up if they want to punch this in. With the clock ticking, we've reached a minute 15 left in this fourth quarter. They have a late substitution with Brantley Scott, with Caden Hahn. They're going to hand off to number 3, and he's going to get in for the touchdown. Landon Villalobos. Bryan not giving up on this game, even with them being down so much. But that's the type of mentality you gotta have. You gotta play till the game's over, even if you know you're gonna lose. They're gonna hand it off to number 3 again, and he's gonna slip up and be just short. Clock is going to stop with 14 seconds left in this game. All right, the Tigers are going to take the field with 14 seconds left. I'm guessing they're just going to kneel it with this much time left. And looks like they're not even going to kneel it. They're just going to let the clock run out. And there's your final score. Bryan Golden Bears 12 and your Liberty Center Tigers 44 with the big win over the Bryan Golden Bears. All right, that'll be it for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. That'll be from Colin Tamarine, and everybody have a good night.